Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. So, it's been brought to my attention that apparently I have never done a run with hatchets. I think this is the only weapon that you can start the game with that I've never used in a video, as far as I remember or could find. So we're gonna do a run with hatchets. This weapon scales with your attack speed, and I'm gonna play the Explorer just because I want to have fun with this primitive weapon, and you know, it makes sense that the hatchet is cutting down trees. Oh, nice, we get to start with a box. That's a great omen. Now, obviously on the Explorer, our goal is mostly to run around and cut down trees, so we're gonna go lumberjacking. Now, I'm Canadian, so it was mandatory that I read Hatchet many times, the book Hatchet. Don't know how much that has penetrated to the rest of the world. I'm gonna roll here. Obviously, we're looking for hatchets. I think we'll keep Insanity in the pool, and I'm just gonna lock plant. This is such a good item and such an efficient item that we're gonna keep it available. I'm also going to lock Scared Sausage. When you're playing as the Explorer, of course, one of the things that you're hoping to do is get the Pocket Factory combo online, and Scared Sausage can be a fun component to that. So although it's not very good for hatchets, it's just fun for this character, so we're going to go with that as well. You can see our damage is not high against these enemies because the Explorer has a damage penalty, and Hatchet is a very low damage weapon by default. To make up for that, it increases its damage as you gain attack speed, which is a ridiculously powerful thing for a weapon to do. It multiplies your damage massively to have that be the case, because the damage that you get is multiplying with a stat that also increases your damage. Do I want to pick up the attack speed, or I could roll for more harvesting? I think I'm just going to take the 5 attack speed. I do want to boost the damage of my weapons pretty soon, so although harvesting obviously is very powerful to get early, we're going to focus a little more on attack speed for this character. Otherwise, I'm worried that we just won't be able to kill anything. 2 crates out of our first 2 trees this wave, so the lumberjack lifestyle is really working for us. Assume we'll get Eric Idle on here. We've got a couple. Oh, nice. We got bag out of a crate as the Explorer. That's obviously incredible. With the Explorer, your economy is mostly going to come from free items from trees because you drop 50% fewer materials from enemies, but you kill a lot of trees, so you get a lot of free items. If you get a bag, suddenly you're also making tons of money. Do I want the butterfly? I think I'm just going to ban this. I don't think we're going to be doing lifesteal primarily for our healing. We'll probably do regen. So I'm just going to ban the butterfly there because we do have as a potential option boosting our damage through elemental damage as well, since we have a Scared Sausage. I'm just going to take 5% more attack speed. I want to boost the base damage of my hatchets, and now we've gotten it up to 4 damage instead of the 3 that it started at by default, so that's very good. And then we get a lot more healing here. Really nice shop for us. We can ban the glasses and then buy these other 3 items, and our healing is going to be excellent with all of this extra consumable healing that we've managed to pick up. Hatchet is a primitive weapon, so you do get 15 extra max HP, which of course is a great bonus for a weapon to have. The main downside of this weapon is just that it has very low base damage. Scared Sausage is actually okay for that reason as well, because the extra 1 damage per second in the early stages does tick more deaths on enemies, so although we're not able to kill the high health enemies, like you'll notice I'm just ignoring the lampreys, we are able to get a little bit more damage on the other enemies. Alien Eyes will take, that's just more damage we can do around the map, and similarly with Turret. Feather, I don't need the ranged damage, we're probably not building dodge, so let's just go ahead and ban Feather. Here I'll take 8 more harvesting to boost my economy, and then again, we're going to buy out this entire shop. Now at level 2, Hatchet, as you'll notice, does not scale the extra does not scale your base damage with attack speed any higher. It doesn't get increased damage scaling. So that's part of what makes this typically considered a fairly weak weapon, is it doesn't level very well. So although it scales amazingly with a stat that's probably the game's best stat, it's either attack speed or armor is the best stat in Brotato, it has low base damage and doesn't scale that well as you level it. We're going to roll here. I'll definitely take the fertilizer, and then we'll roll again. And bat, I will again just ban out. Insanity we can keep. We do get 2x crit damage from hatchets, but I'm not going to lock it. Just leaving it in the pool because we might want it later. I'd say this is a pretty good start to an explorer run, though. We got a bag. We've gotten a lot of crates. We're actually getting very lucky on crates, having bought no luck. Usually you want to buy luck very aggressively on this character so that you increase the odds of crates showing up from trees. We haven't managed to do that, but even without that, we've still gotten pretty lucky on number of crates that we found. There's another one. So we're consistently finding 2 every wave, which is a little overcurved given that we haven't bought any luck. I was trying to get to those other trees there. Yeah, we'll take the nail. Engineering can be pretty helpful. We bought the turret already, and again, Pocket Factory is one of the ways we can definitely go with this character, so we'll take landmines as well. Here, I'm going to reroll, because I want to get a level 2 upgrade if possible, and then we'll take 10% more attack speed. Losing attack speed on the hatchet is very bad, but it's only 15% scaling. So if you buy defective steroids, it doesn't decrease your base damage that significantly. And one thing that is important about hatchet is that it has 100% melee damage scaling. This weapon is one of the weapons that has an alternate scaling where you still want to buy melee damage. A lot of weapons that scale with both melee damage and another stat, you just don't want to buy any melee damage. It's more efficient to just buy the other stat. Like, for example, loot, you should just buy luck and ignore melee damage. But Hatchet gets 100% damage scaling. It's melee damage, so you buy it at an increased rate compared to other damage types. And you're going to have a lot of attack speed just sort of naturally, so you're multiplying that melee damage pretty heavily. I'm going to pass on the acid here, and in fact, I think I'm just going to ban it. Just removing that from the pool makes it more likely that we find Pocket Factory, because that's a level 2 item. I will buy the cake, though, because I do still want more max HP, and then I'm going to do a reroll. We can definitely buy a weird ghost here, so I will do that, and I'm going to lock the whistle. I don't yet have the damage to easily kill loot aliens, but once we get the Pocket Factory, we may be able to. We also have tons of consumable heal, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy the alien worm here. I do want more max HP, and I want more healing. And then, alright, let's get some consumables so we can fix our health after buying Weird Ghost. So the only thing we're really missing at this point is we need armor and we need luck. We've got decent attack speed already for a hatchet run. We've got Pocket Factory for the Explorer, as well as a Scared Sausage, so we can really start going off with that. But we need luck so that we can start getting more and more crates from trees, although I am just, as it said, getting phenomenally lucky on crate drops, so maybe I don't need to buy luck. Maybe I'm just lucky in real life, and it's translating to the video game. I will take the Insanity here, and community support is always pretty strong on the Explorer. This attack speed does scale the damage of your hatchets, so the base damage on these weapons is going to go up the more enemies spawn, which is great. I do want to fix my movement speed, but both elemental damage and regen are good, and we're definitely taking the armor there. We want to go back to 0 armor. Take the Pocket Factory, and we can buy both of these. Do I want the pumpkin? We don't currently have a source of piercing damage, but we do have Pocket Factory. And so piercing shots is something that we will buy if it shows up. But I think we'll just pass on the pumpkin. I'm not going to ban it, though, even though we would get a free reroll, because I will want that in the pool if we do find, like, a sharp bullet. But for now, it doesn't do anything, so rather than buy an item that does actual nothing, we're going to pass on it and wait to see if we get something that synergizes with it. The advantage that we have with Hatchet here is that it is giving us a bunch of defensive stats for free. And now that we have community support, the damage of our weapons is just going to be consistently going up as well. I could use more armor. Jerky would be nice. Other ways to get extra money would be really good as well, but really we're just in great shape. I do have 10 regeneration, so we can support the damage over time that we would be taking from the blood donation. So let's take this. Alien Tongue I'll take. Pickup Radius is really good for this character because we are healing with consumables a lot. I do need to fix my percent damage. That is one of the stats that we're really missing. So do I want that more than I want 9 HP? I think I actually do. HP is important, but when your percent damage is negative, like it is on this character right now, increasing it is so valuable that we're very incentivized to pick up any percent damage we see. We'll buy a Hatchet. I'll buy the Little Frog. Wandering Bot, I'm just going to ban, and then we'll do a reroll. Okay, nice. We got a Crown. I'll take a Baby Gecko as well. Toolbox, obviously we can't buy on this character because it decreases our attack speed, so even though engineering is still part of our plan, I'm going to go ahead and ban the Toolbox. And then, nice, we got a perfect shop. And so now, you know, we would be happy if we magically had the pumpkin. That would still be good. But having bought it would have cost us the ability to find that sharp bullet. And the sharp bullet will still be excellent anyways. But we have a basically perfect shop locked, which is obviously amazing. Did that... It looks like that consumable just shot from across the map at me. Just like all the way from way outside my pickup radius. Huh. I don't know if I'm just making things up, but it really looked like it flew from... Like there was a fruit that just flew from across the map. It's possible I was just seeing some materials moving, and then a consumable that was much closer got like mixed into the materials that were passing by. I'll take the Ugly Tooth. This isn't a great item for us, but it just pulls a unique out of the pool, so I'm pretty happy with that. Beanie is excellent. I will take the Whetstone. Getting positive lifesteal can still be good. I will take the Boiling Water as well. We do have 2 Scared Sausages, so we can really just build everything on this character. Let's get more Harvesting. And then here, I'm gonna either roll for attack speed. No, I should just roll for armor. This is a level 3 upgrade. We have 0 armor, so that's the thing that is putting us in the most danger right now. So let's go ahead and pick up 3 more armor, and then we'll be very well set up to survive the next few waves. We'll buy a Corrupted Shard, we'll lock this Pumpkin and Lemonade, and do another reroll. We'll do one more reroll here, and I guess I'll lock a Mushroom. I really need luck as well, but more regen is still good. We have a blood donation, so I need regeneration to support the damage we're taking from that. Though obviously as the explorer you can skimp a little on healing because you get all the tree spawns, and those will also heal you. Looking for where the next loot alien is going to spawn. We bought Lure, so we're guaranteed some loot alien spawns. And on the explorer, of course, they can spawn anywhere. So you need to be paying attention and moving around the map. I'm trying to get these, and here it is. I'm trying to get these trees as well to turn into Pocket Factory turrets so that when the loot alien spawns, it always is taking damage right from the start. That will make it easier to clear, even though my actual weapon damage is still pretty low. This tree kill, and then another box as well. Yeah, even though it costs me 8 luck, I will take the black belt. We currently have no XP gain, and the melee damage is relevant. We have enough regeneration that we can survive the weird ghost, so I guess I'll take that, and then we'll take a lucky charm. I now do need to be careful not to reduce my regeneration, because we have a blood donation, so we're going to start with 1 HP, but we have more than 1 HP regen per second, so we are safe. For the oh nice, we get positive luck as well. And we found the lucky charm also, so great boost to our luck. We are safe from dying instantly to the blood donation, but if I bought items that decreased my regen, I could potentially make that not the case, so I need to be careful there. Take the warrior helmet, hatchet, and lemonade, and then roll, and fried rice is perfect. That's going to be a ton of regeneration. I still have positive move speed, but I am hoping for more move speed items, and we found them. The Terrified Onion, normally you would not buy on the Explorer, but we're pretty low on move speed right now, and I definitely do need to fix that. I would say we've gotten basically perfect shops this entire run, and just very, very lucky finds. The reason I think that I've never done a hatchet run is that there's a lot of characters that it's like the third best weapon for, but very few characters that it's, or no characters that it's the best weapon for. So it's rare that this is either the most optimal pick or like a really challenging or interesting pick, because it's always just going to be a solid weapon. It scales well, it's got the primitive weapon tag and so on, but it's never going to be the very best weapon for a character. Candy Bag is pretty fun. We're very happy to take that. We get a lot of extra stats from this, and if we get elite kills, so much the better. I'll take another Little Frog and then 3 more armor, because I really need to keep boosting my armor. Here, I'm going to take the crit chance. I could take the move speed. So if I take this 6 speed, it's sort of like buying 5 luck. Because right now I have a Terrified Onion locked in the shop. If I bought 6 speed, I probably wouldn't buy the Terrified Onion. So that it's kind of like getting 5 luck and 2 speed if I buy this speed upgrade. But I think I'm going to just take the crit chance anyways, and we'll just buy the Terrified Onion here. Roll, and obviously we're very happy to pick up a bag. Scope doesn't do anything, so that's another easy ban, and that lets me get another free reroll, which is great. We'll take another fertilizer, lock an injection, and then do another reroll, and there's a hatchet and a garden. Consumable healing is still pretty important to us, so I'm definitely going to pick that up. I also probably have rolled past a bunch of hatchets, because it's an item I'm used to ignoring, so our weapon levels might be able to be higher if I had bought all of the hatchets that we've seen. Would be my guess. Obviously, I don't remember rolling past any hatchets, because if I didn't see them, then I didn't see them. But it's very possible that there were some I didn't see. Or just glossed over. Really nice to get another loot alien kill. Let's get these tree kills. Killing the trees that are in the middle of the map is very helpful because it's more likely that other trees spawn near them, and then the turrets can continue to break down more trees and thus spawn more turrets. We also, at this point, because we have an early crown, we got a lot of harvesting, we are starting to get a lot of income every wave, which is awesome. We'll take the wheelbarrow here. I've managed to pick up a bunch of armor. Crystal costs me some engineering, and the attack speed scaling is not going to work out because we have a blood donation, so we're always going to lose that. But I think it is still worth taking 5% attack speed. The damage loss on our hatchets from losing engineering is kind of offset by gaining the damage from attack speed. And 5 attack speed is just very important to this character, so I think we are just going to take that. Here I will reroll, and we'll pick up some more regeneration. I want to keep my regeneration high, and then we're starting to get towards maximum, or towards 0 damage. Lighthouse I will definitely take, because we have 4 structures currently, but 16 engineering is still very good, and it, of course, boosts the damage of our weapons as well. Baby with a Beard is a good way to set enemies on fire, so I think we will pick that up. Both Mutation and Pencil, the amounts of stats that we get from these are too small. Yes, we have Scared Sausage. Yes, we have Nail, but you're buying, if you buy Pencil when you have Nail, you're basically buying 0.4 damage on each of your weapons, which is not exciting, right? That's significantly less than you would get if you bought a melee damage item. And while the elemental damage for Scared Sausage is a little more interesting, I think Mutation is kind of a bad way to get that as well. I will buy the landmines, and we'll lock Leather Vest and Weird Food, and then I guess do one more reroll. And even though it costs me attack speed, I'll take the Missile, because my percent damage is incredibly low, so we definitely want to boost that. One thing is that because I have the Candy Bag, I should maybe start thinking about building up Dodge, because we are going to be getting a few points of Dodge for free from that. Although I have decreased my Dodge a ton. Baby with a Beard is just to set enemies on fire with the Scared Sausages also. Obviously, the ranged damage component of that is not going to do any damage, but the more shots that we fire, the more trees they will break, and the more enemies they will burn. So that's always going to contribute to our total damage output fairly significantly. One thing that I think traps newer players in this game, and just in games in general, is trying to do everything at once. So you see a build here, and you see, oh, okay, well, we can get engineering because we have Nail, and we have Pocket Factory, we can get elemental damage because we have Scared Sausage, we can get this, we can get that, and then you buy a ton of that, you buy a little bit of a ton of different attributes and don't focus your build and end up not very good at anything, or end up spending money on things that don't actually scale very well, like buying engineering. And that can set you behind if you try to do too much at once. Explorer, I think, is especially bad for this because this is kind of the do everything character, so it baits you into thinking you should try to do everything all at once. Book we will take still because the engineering is still relevant, and here it's only 7 materials, so it's not costing us very much. Like the Claw Tree, and similarly, Boiling Water, we will take the engineering when it shows up, or elemental damage when it shows up efficiently. We're just not looking to spend to break the bank buying it. Fairy, I will be super happy to take. 33 regeneration is awesome here. And then with 30 luck, do I think I can find a purple level up? I think I probably can, though I guess I'll just take 2 more armor. Let's go ahead and buy out this whole shop. It removes a unique from the pool. I don't want to cap my move speed with the shackles, because I really do want more move speed, so I will buy the charcoal. Mutation I'm going to buy now because it also gives us a regen, so the calculus has changed significantly on that. Helmet will take. Cyberball probably won't do very much damage. Our luck is still pretty low. So I think I'm going to pass on the Cyberball and the Black Belt here. Also, buying landmines does hurt my lighthouse, it's true. So it's possible that the landmines are marginal enough that I shouldn't buy them, because it does decrease the amount of engineering I'm getting from the lighthouse. I need to think of every structure that I buy as having -1 engineering attached to it. And so while landmines do help spread fire and just do, break trees, do damage across the map, which is the purpose of our build, when they come with -1 engineering, they're a lot less exciting. Though if we get an improved tools or a couple clockwork wasps and get some more structure attack speed, then every structure we have will become so useful. So I'm kind of hoping that that happens. Improved tools would be especially good because we're buying a lot of attack speed since we're a hatchet build. Here I will take the wheat. The elemental damage loss is a little painful, but all the other stats are good. Are we going into an elite wave? I could take the celery tea, but it would mean not killing the elite, so let's recycle that. We'll take the scar. I think there's a decent chance that if I try to, I can kill the elite. Our weapon damage is pretty good, actually, at this point, now that I've got my percent damage positive and bought actually not that much attack speed, but still a reasonable amount of attack speed. And we also have all the supporting damage from all our other items. Go ahead and buy all of these items, and then we'll do a reroll. Power generator, I do want more movement speed, but I also want the power generator. So let's see. Wings is great for this character. We want the move speed. We're going to want power generator. I think buying the wings first will be better. I will keep I'll take the wheat as well. Actually, I might not take wheat at this point because it costs me elemental damage, which is a real concern, and the harvesting is a lot less useful at this point in the game. Lens I'm going to buy just for 1 regeneration. 1 ranged damage does help the baby with a beard as well, which is actually, now that we've picked up some kind of incidental ranged damage, a little more exciting. Nuclear launcher isn't a hatchet, but it is a fun weapon, but I feel like we could just focus on hatchets here. And again, I passed on a pencil earlier, but now that it comes with the regeneration, because we have fairy, it's much more of an exciting option. Even with -1 engineering, I think the laser turret is still going to be good enough. So we'll take that. So this elite can be kind of tough as a melee character because it attacks next to you all the time. And as a melee character fighting an elite, you need to move a little bit just so the other enemies don't overwhelm you. But so you can see here, the elite never fires directly at you. So if you remain still next to it, you don't get hit by it. But the other enemies are putting some pressure on my movement. But we should still be okay. Our damage is high enough that we're able to try to kill the elite and still survive the other enemies that are coming at me. They're also all taking a lot of damage as they approach because we have all these other damage over time effects. So we were able to kill the elite just by kind of remaining motionless next to it. Making sure to break as many trees as possible to keep turrets spawning. Okay, so with the jetpack, now we can probably start building dodge. We're getting 10 dodge here. The 15 speed we definitely want. I'll take the Lost Duck as well. Clover, again, that contributes to us probably wanting to build dodge now. My percent damage is still really low, so I am going to keep boosting that. Oh yeah, we have a blindfold as well. So yeah, dodge is actually going to be really good for this character now. I'll take the hatchet. We definitely don't want Triangle of Power alongside blood donation. So let's go ahead and buy a hatchet, and then we'll reroll. Another wings is good. Recycling machine is good. Actually, all of these items are good, so we're going to lock all of them. Candy Bag is kind of perfect for this run, too, because we're using every stat. Most runs, of course, are going to have a lot of useless stats that you could roll with Candy Bag. For this character, it's really only range that doesn't give us anything useful. So when we're getting 8 random stats, we don't care if we get elemental damage or ranged damage. We actually have things that scale off of all of those. And obviously the stats that are always good, like attack speed and armor and health regeneration and lifesteal, those are still just good for this character as well. But we use every stat, so just random stats are really strong. Just have fewer misses. Making 700 materials here. Losing 8 luck is a little painful, but, you know, who am I to avoid getting 69 HP? I'll take the baby elephant as well. We get some more regeneration. We'll take the whetstone, and now we've got 5% lifesteal. Now that I've started building dodge, I'm going to keep building dodge, and then I'll reroll here and take 15 more luck. Then we're going to buy out this whole shop that we had locked. I'll buy a clover again as well. Small fish is even more regen, so even at the cost of attack speed, I think that's still fine. Snail, I don't think we want, so let's do a couple rerolls here. Ooh, a cursed hatchet. Okay, that's a really nice find. And I guess we want this entire shop again. Saw there, I think we got 2 armor, and if Candy Bag ever gives you 2 armor, then it's an absurdly strong item. And if it gives you an armor every wave, then it's ridiculously strong. Now, obviously, it does come with a risk. If you're a character that can't fight 2 elites at once, or if an elite happens to spawn in the boss wave you'll lose, then you need to be careful about buying Candy Bag. But for this character, where the 10% chance of spawning 2 elites is not a concern, we would happily fight 2 elites. Candy Bag is just incredible. One thing that Hatchet has let us do is skimp on buying HP, and so we've been able to spend more stats on other things, which has been great. Yeah, obviously we'll take the mouse. We're very excited about that. We'll take the snowball here. It probably won't be worth that much, because we aren't going to prioritize buying elemental damage items. People ask me about this. Why do you buy snowball if you don't buy elemental damage items? And the answer is because crates exist. And just because you have a snowball doesn't magically make those items efficient. It just gives them +1 more elemental damage. Sometimes it's still right not to buy them. So, just because you have an item that scales with a specific stat doesn't mean you need to always buy that stat every time you see it. That, I think, is something that is just an easy misconception to have. We'll take the hedgehog here, and then I'll take 8 more melee damage. Getting a little more damage scaling before we fight the elite is going to be very helpful. Let's get our cursed hatchet going. We'll take bait and lemonade, and then roll. I don't think I want the peacock here going into the elite wave. I mean, my defensive stats are really good. We could probably survive, but let's buy the frozen heart. Losing the burning damage speed is a little bit painful, because scared sausages have been doing good damage for us, but 8 elemental damage, 5 crit chance, and the elemental damage scaling on our weapons, which attack fairly fast, is all pretty good. I'm going to roll past both of those items. We'll buy the lantern. I'll take the cake, because I do want more max HP, and then I'll do a reroll here. Do I want the compass? I think that's fine. More move speed is also more % damage because we have a power generator. But I'm going to pass on all these items. We'll just keep the lantern here. So we did not get a second elite spawn. Now this elite is a lot harder to focus damage on as a melee character because it does charge past you, but we should still be able to take it out here. Just kind of doing drive-bys on it. Run past, do a bunch of attacks, and then move around the map to keep spreading fire and breaking trees. Where did it go? I guess it died. I didn't realize that I'd done enough damage to kill it. I was running away to break trees, and then I would come back and finish it off. But it just died, I guess, to the turrets and just all of our random damage. Try to get these curse alien kills out of the blobfish there, and then we made 1,000 materials this wave. So 2 damage per second is much scarier than 1 damage per second, but we've got 70 regen, so we can definitely buy the Bloody Hand. Energy Bracelet I will take. Diploma, yeah, we'll pick this up. It does cost me 3 regen, but the 10 engineering are very good. That's also 2 damage on each of our weapons, and then the XP gain will we would probably hit level 25 anyways, but that guarantees that we will. Regen potion. I'll take a dynamite when it gives us a regen. We'll take the eye surgery to offset our slower burning speed somewhat, and then we'll take 12 dodge, because I do want to get to dodge cap. Here, I'll buy all these items. Gummy Berserker gives us attack speed and regen. So here is a spot where it's okay to buy the Gummy Berserker. It's still not amazing, but it's fine. Boiling water at full price. I guess we do have the snowball, so it's worth buying the boiling water. Did it not? Okay, it didn't show the icon, or I just didn't see it. For when you buy an elemental item with snowball. I'll take the Dangerous Bunny here. Stone Skin, we just don't need the max HP, so I think I'm going to roll past all of these things and try to find just more fun and exciting items, like a Black Flag. Tentacle is also a great way to heal. At this point, I'm really not worried about... Oh, nice, we got a candy bag elite as well. So that's an extra red item for us. At this point, I'm not really worried about buying the most optimal items, because the most optimal items are just regen and armor at this point. But I am going to try to look for fun items and see if we can do some wacky stuff with them. If we could get a Will-O-Wisp, that would be pretty nice too, because all the enemies that we kill are going to die burning, so that would be a lot of free elemental damage. The ban system is also pretty nice for the Explorer because there's a lot of level 1 items that you really want. Getting bag, getting any consumable healing, those make such a massive difference to how effective the character is. So being able to ban level 1 items and find bags and stuff more reliably is super powerful for this character. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Cursed Celery Tea. It increases enemy health next wave, but that shouldn't be a problem. I'll take the Wolf Helmet as well. Lost Duck we'll pick up. Ritual does cost 2 engineering, but I think is still worth grabbing here. And then let's pick up 10 more attack speed. Weirdly, for a Hatchet run, we have ended up with attack speed being one of our worst stats. I'm taking the Black Flag, not because it's going to give me any actual money, but just because it's a very fun item. And here, we'll take the Energy Bracelet. I'll roll. Turret and landmines do cost me an engineering each, but let's just get more stuff on the field. I think that's kind of fun. I'll take a Dangerous Bunny, but we'll pass on Grind's Magical Leaf. 309 for these stats is not great, but it's even worse when you take into account that we're going to lose the... that we lose 3 regeneration just for buying it. Let's get our level 4 Cursed Hatchet, which scales with 30% of our attack speed, so that's pretty cool. And then we'll pick up another Hatchet. Definitely don't want to combine Hatchet and Mace, because this scales negatively with your attack speed, and this scales positively. Here, I guess I'll buy the coupon, and then we'll lock these other items. Go to wave 19. Can I get another Candy Bag Elite? Nah. Tragic. So we spent, what, 110 on the Black Flag? It was fairly cheap. I don't remember exactly, but it was somewhere between, like, 110 and 170. There's a chance we actually make our money back this wave. Because not only are we getting the money from the Black Flag, we're also spawning 10% more enemies. So you kind of have to multiply our income by 1.1 compared to what it would have been previously without the Black Flag. Not quite, because we already have some additional enemy spawns, but a little less than something like 7% of the income that we get this wave, even discounting the money that we're getting from actively killing curse aliens, is because we have the extra enemy spawns from the Black Flag. Take the Clover here, and we'll take the coupon. Sunken Bell won't do anything. We're just not going to fall below 40% health, so let's recycle that, because we can just buy something more fun. Cog, losing 4% damage is kind of painful, but I think it's still worth taking, and sure, we'll grab a Pearl here. Extra Stomach, I'm going to recycle. The extra max HP won't be helpful at this point. Let's reroll. We'll take 15 attack speed. We'll take 2 more armor. And then, oh, there's a Fish Hook, which would have been good earlier, but obviously doesn't do anything going into the last wave here. Do I want the Octopus? It's only +2 regen. But the other stats are pretty good, but I think we just don't need that. I'll take the Head Injury, I'll take the Salt Water. I'm looking for things that help us kill the bosses faster. Strange Book is going to be really good for that. 36 extra engineering is nice. Let's take the Toxic Sledge, because we have that Strange Book. We'll take Penguin, Charcoal. I guess I'll just buy all of these items. Let's take a Bait, and Small Fish will help us kill the bosses a little faster. Adrenaline is good healing, so I will pick that up just in case. I don't think we're likely to die, but just minimizing the chances of that happening. And then we'll just buy the last couple items that might be relevant. And we spent a lot of money that wave, so see, we bought this wave, we bought everything from... Oh, a bunch of duplicates showed up, so it's not showing sort by obtaining. We actually made 180 materials off of Black Flag, and that's just counting the +1 materials when you kill a cursed enemy, not counting the 10% extra enemies. So the Black Flag actually, I think, paid for itself, which is, like, more than paid for itself, which is kind of wild. All right, let's go to wave 20 and see if we can axe these bosses a question. They're living a surprisingly long time, given how powerful our build is at this point, but we should easily be able to defeat them nonetheless. I'm just ignoring the enemy movement and just staying near it to attack it as much as possible, and there we go. So taking a look at our weapons here, 23k damage on the Cursed Hatchet. So you can see, compared to other weapons for killing the bosses, these are a little bit slower still, but they still do great once you scale them, and they give you a lot of defensive stats because it's a primitive weapon. We made 2130 materials off our bags, did 120k damage with Scared Sausage, 35k with Alien Eyes. Our turrets and Pocket Factory dealt 170,000, so massive damage there. Only 600 materials saved on the coupons, so a little bit lower, but again, this character's income mostly comes from free items, not from actually buying items, though obviously we did a lot of that as well, because we ended up with 530 harvesting. 17k damage on landmines, so those were not amazing, obviously. We didn't end up with improved tools or anything like that, so we were just spawning a landmine every 12 seconds. We've got the crown for 250 extra harvesting, because we got a very early crown. Candy bag gave us 80 bonus stats, obviously amazing. And what else? 10k damage on the spicy sauce. Actually, 35k damage on Baby with a Beard. This always does well, even if you don't buy ranged damage, just because it's so consistent. And 178 materials on Recycling Machine, 17k damage on Baby Elephant, 31 healing on Cute Monkey, 10 extra elemental damage on the Snowball, because a lot of those items came out of boxes. Alright, so that was the Hatchet run. So we've got one of those on the channel now. It's a weapon you can use on pretty much any characters, just a solid weapon. You just buy attack speed and you kill stuff with it. As always, my friends, if you've enjoyed the run, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.